Hi YouTubers, Marko here with Marko Custom Fab. Today I want to introduce to you a new car to me and something familiar. It won't be the 64 Buick back here. That's just, I don't know what that's going to be yet, but we'll see. So let me just pull it out and show you. Alright, I know what you're thinking, that I'd done something with that blue or the yellow one. This is a different car than both of those cars. The last video you saw me take the engine from the blue car, install it in that yellow 57. And then I came across this car and I had to have it. So I sold the other two cars, and crazy thing is I had to sell the engine out of that yellow car separately and then to a guy in BC, and then I sold that car, and then I ended up selling the blue car after purchasing this one. So what's nice about this is I'll be able to do some upgrades and some videos for you and talk about some of the things I want to do with this car. Just getting to restore the blue one was maybe a few years down the road, so I get to sort of enjoy this now. I have this is a 1960, so same year as ended up being as the blue one. I think I might have called it a 59, doing some VIN checking and stuff like that. That also was a 60, and so they were the same year. This is the factory color for this car, but it's not the original paint. It's got some little imperfections in that, but it runs and drives, it's registered, and you can enjoy it. So I'm going to talk about some of the upgrades we're going to do with this car, and I want to change it over from a generator to an alternator, also electronic ignition from positive ground to negative ground, maybe do a factory style radio upgrade, as well as just some other things make it more drivable, but we'll get through that. So anyway, I'll give you a tour of this car. Okay, this is what we got inside these cars. If you haven't seen one before, it's pretty straightforward. It is a 3 on the tree car, so it's manual transmission. They never came with these in an automatic or a 4-speed. You have the key in the middle here. You turn that on, and then on the outside you have a knob that you turn, and that's your headlights, park lights off. You got a pull starter here. If I pull that, it will turn the engine over. You got wipers, heater, and your choke. So pull the choke, pull your turn your key on, pull the knob, starts up, your choke back down, and she'll idle. The rise up, charge light to go. I do have a slight issue, I think, with the charging system on this car, and that's going to bring me to the next video where I'm going to upgrade this to an alternator, but instead of using a modern alternator that came on a newer MGB, I'm actually using a generator style alternator, and I'll show you that in the next video. You got a fuel gauge, speedometer. This car reads that there's 20,000 miles on it. Being the wear and tear on some of this car, I don't know if it would have had much more. It doesn't even have any rust repair panels on it in the fenders or anything like that. So this car has been inside a lot. It has been restored. It definitely has been restored, and there's some things on this car, little things like screws and stuff, that I want to change and just make it a little better. So yeah, you put your foot on the clutch here, and you got your gears. You got first gear, and then second gear, and then third gear. And then when you need reverse, you pull towards you and up. And a good note on these cars, if you put it in second first to get reverse, it won't grind or anything like that. Sometimes you got to do that with these. They're just like that. There's a radio in this car, but it doesn't appear to work. I know with these tube radios you gotta let them warm up a little bit, but I've had it on and it doesn't want to really work. You got your wipers, just one speed. They pull, they come on. No matter where you shut them off, that's where the wipers will stay. So you kind of gotta, if you want them down, you stop them there. The heater, if you pull towards you, is heat. If you leave it like that, it's cool. And when you turn it, you get high speed, and then you can slow this fan speed down as you turn the knob. There's two flaps under here. You open those up if you want heat on the floor. If you close them, you get heat coming out to defrost the windshield. Shut that off. And then your choke, as we talked about earlier. You have a handbrake over here, emergency brake. And of course, the old car is complete without an ashtray. Rear view mirror, you have sun visors on both sides. You got a glove box, opens up lid. There's on this particular car they put a water temperature gauge inside here. It's nice to have sometimes on a warmer day. If you're stuck in traffic, you can monitor your engine temperature and that, and it's not like just stuck somewhere where it's visible. I got a cigarette lighter. Cigarette lighter probably would have had a matching knob of the dash knob, so I'm going to try and find one like another knob. This car does have a map light that works. There's a switch under the dash. That was one of the features they offered in some of the bigger cars that had, you know, they had things like map lights and that. They offered it in this car as standard equipment. You got a horn. It's very big horn, American horn, and your signal lights are on the top here. You have an indicator, one light for both sides, so that's your right hand signal, of course, and then your left hand. And it's pretty nice actually. When you're driving, you can operate this with either hand without having to work with the steering wheel, so that's kind of a nice little feature. You got vent windows, of course, and they latch down. And yeah, these mirrors on this car, I have to point out, are not factory. Nash Metropolitan didn't actually come with mirrors on the outside of the car. Somebody had drilled holes and had some cheesy mirrors on there, so I had actually installed. These are replacement mirrors for like a 55, 6 or 7 Chevy, and they're a nice quality metal mirror, stainless, just a nice mirror, so I put them on where the other ones were. So yeah, so that's the inside of the car, and we'll go around the outside of the car. Okay, so here we are on the outside of the car. It's the front passenger fender. You can see it's not bad. What's nice about this car, like I said, on the outside, there hasn't been any replacement done to any of these panels. These are all solid. They've never had a welded panel put in, or there's no sign on the back side of any work been done. So other than a paint job that's somewhat see-through on the white in some spots and a little heavy on the yellow, it appears nice, which is not bad. Back side of the car, of course, you got your fuel cap here. The trunk, twist the knob, you open it up, and you got your trunk on the inside. I got an old magazine article that was a Hemmings from way back when. This is probably 10 years ago. Like I say, I've wanted one of these cars for a while, so I had some memorabilia from before. This is the jack here, and the wheel wrench. I got to sandblast these and paint them. They came out of another Metropolitan, so this car didn't have them. And then there's a carrying case that will they'll slip into, so I got to get that. It's available in reproduction. So yeah, that's the trunk. You lift up like a lot of other English cars, and it goes down. You can lock that as well. It's got the spare tire cover on it. There you go, come down the other side. It's got these, they're called porter walls. The white walls aren't really part of the tire, they just kind of stick on the outside. So I'm gonna probably take these off. They look nice, but they kind of squeak. It's not the most pleasant thing to listen to when you're driving, but yeah, we'll go for a drive in this. You could probably hear what I'm talking about. The other side. So in Alberta here, we don't need to have a front license plate. I could put an old 60 plate on it or something else. I popped the bracket off because it was not in the best looking condition there. So I can restore that bracket, put it on if I want to, or just leave it off. So for now it's not on. I'll pop the hood here. Little button you push. Lift it up. So this is the Austin 1500. So like I say, I want to keep it original appearing. I do have a couple of things I may want to do. I got a set of dual side draft carburetors that I may put on this car. And I'm gonna upgrade this this generator here. I'm gonna upgrade that to an alternator. They make one that looks like a generator, so it keeps its original appearance. And I'll show you that in the next video for sure. That's gonna be my first video on upgrading on this car. So there's the body number and VIN number. So the paint number is the right one for the yellow. So this car has been yellow. It's not like another car that was painted a different color. And everything, of course, is color correct on this car. Engine color, the way the underside is painted, and the all the accessories. So that's nice about it. Just close that up. Okay, and then the interior of this car, which you saw a little bit there, but the seats are the Heinz tooth fabric. That's on there. These seats, they fold forward, access in the back. This knob, if you pull on it, or push the knob, sorry, you can pull this back seat down and have full access into the trunk if you want to carry something longer. Underneath the back seat here, not that it really is a seat, I'm not sure what you really fit back there, but this is where the battery cover is. So as you can see right now, it's set up as positive ground, and so I'm going to change that to negative ground, and I'll have to do that when I do the conversion for the alternator. And since the radio doesn't work, that's the only thing that would really affect and allow me to upgrade to something a little more modern, but still keep the original look. Somebody's added seatbelts. These cars don't come with seatbelts, but I might as well keep them in. All right, so I'm gonna go for a little drive here, show you what it's like. So key on, it's warm, pull it, brake off. Let's find reverse, grab second, and then reverse. Sometimes that helps keep it from grinding. My old 52 Chevy had the 3 on the tree, and this car actually reminds me a lot of that 52 Chevy I drove. It has the same sort of feel in the way it shifts and drives, and feeling in the brakes. Signal light top here. You know, it's kind of interesting. I drove this car a couple of times using the signal light up here. Now when I go in my other vehicle, I look for it up here. I kind of like it. It's at first I was wondering about that. I thought that might be a little odd, and it's almost intuitive once you use it. So as you can see, if you see my charge light comes on, my generator and or the voltage regulator has stopped. So, but anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to change that out. So that'll be the next video on this car. We'll go through and just sort of make it a little more reliable. You might say it's a little more modernized, but today it's just hard to stop somewhere and get parts like that. And even the part I'm putting on is very specific. It's not like I walk into Canadian Tire and get one, so it's maybe not the best way to go, but I was hoping to keep it so I can get parts for it fairly easy. It is British running gear in this car, Austin engine and suspension and stuff, and the people that specialize in those parts, at least in Edmonton, we have a great shop. He's really good at getting those kind of parts in and having it on the shelf. In fact, when I bought this new generator I'm going to put on the car that looks like a generator. It's actually an alternator. He had it on the shelf. I didn't even have to wait for it. So it's quite a common thing. And he says they're pretty reliable, so that's good. You can see it zips along pretty good. You get the odd clunk. The exhaust just taps the rear suspension shackle in the rear once in a while if you hit a bump, so we'll fix that. It's a very really fun car to drive in the city. On the highway, it's got a fairly high gear in it. It's like 456s, something like that. And so what I've read, there's a set of gears out of a MG Midget, and they apparently fit in this car, the center pumpkin. Sort of like the way a Ford 9-inch, it's a front-loading differential with the carrier. That piece will drop in, and that should drop it to a 390 gear. So I think it'll be a little better for the highway. It's a fun car. You got your arm out the window, and just on a nice day. I kind of wanted this car instead of my motorbike. I never, my motorbike, I had to take it somewhere, and then maybe the weather would turn, and I didn't carry rain gear and all that stuff. So it was, you'd sort of get caught in the rain, and this car, at least, I can sort of, if I take it somewhere and I do get caught like that, it's a little more comfortable getting home, and I can use it more. I can use it to go pick up groceries or something. I get to actually enjoy it. As with the motorbike, I had a motorbike I bought brand new in 2011, and selling it this year to actually buy this car, I only had 4,000 kilometers on that bike, so it was I'm going to be able to get more use out of this, is what I'm saying, and that's why I enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun. Definitely turns a lot of heads. Not a lot of people see one of these, or have seen one of these. A lot of the older people have, but they remember them or they laugh at them. But it's a fun little car. It even handles good and holds the corners well, like some of the other British cars I've driven, where they actually have a fun. You can go around a traffic circle and enjoy it. This car has that same kind of feel to it, and it's not bad. So anyway, yeah. So this is that's the car, and it runs good, drives good. So I'm going to be able to make some videos for you on upgrades and some of the other things. And some of the upgrades I'm doing to this car will also apply to MGAs or midgets or MGBs, early stuff with generators and positive ground. So you can learn, even if you have a Nash Metropolitan or even another British car, you'll be able to get some information, hopefully some useful information out of this. That'd be great. So if you like, please subscribe to my videos, and I'll try to keep rolling in here, and have a great day.